Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see those mostly cloudy to overcast conditions out there this morning, and a slight breeze out of the south, and have warmed up a bit. Starting to see temperatures almost hitting the 70 mark as we continue through our morning. Expecting mainly dry weather conditions as we move through the work hours today. We'll start to pick up some slight chances of precip as we get into the later part of the afternoon, but the bulk of the rain activity will be moving in as we get later into the evening. Take a look at our current surface analysis. That area of high pressure yesterday has started to recede further off to the east, and as that breaks down, we'll see some moisture building into the area with that southerly flow. That's going to bring the chances of rain showers again as we go into the evening time frame. This area of low pressure can be tracking towards our region, and then we'll see a secondary area of low pressure developing just south along the coast. It's going to help enhance those winds as well as bringing some breezy conditions and some onshore winds and some cloudier conditions looking like over the next several days. If we take a look at the upper level winds from this morning's sounding, we had some south to southwesterly winds through the low and mid levels, fairly light at or below 25 knots, and as we get up in the mid and upper levels, seeing those winds more out of the southwest to westerly, and seeing our peak wind of 50 knots at 25,000 feet. Freezing level today is at 11,500 feet. If we look at our current visible satellite as well as the composite reflectivity showing up on here, we can see plenty of cloud covers in the region, and some light radar returns off to the northwest, but not expecting any of that to impact the area in the coming hours. Again, not really seeing any chance of precip as we get until we get into the later afternoon and more so into the evening. So if we look at our short-term high-resolution model, see how things play out today, staying socked in the clouds as we move through the daytime hours. As we get past around 1400 local today, we'll see a slight chance, the very slight chance of a light isolated shower pushing through the area, but shouldn't see anything too impactful. And then going into the evening, mainly as we get past the 2200 local time frame, that's when we'll see our best chances of rain, with that rain becoming likely as we go through the overnight time frame. And we will see a chance of some heavier pockets, moderate to heavier pockets of rain within this activity as it moves through overnight. We'll also see some low clouds and just dreary conditions as we go into our Wednesday morning. Continuing into the first part of Wednesday, we'll continue to see some of those rain showers lingering around through the morning hours as that area of low pressure makes a close approach and starts to set up just off the coast. As we get into the afternoon, looks like most of the activity will lift north of the Wallops area, but can't rule out some light sprinkles or drizzles through the day, and even possibly an isolated light shower pushing through the area. And then that pretty much continues as we go overnight Wednesday and into Thursday morning, with mainly no real radar returns being shown here, but can't rule out some light drizzle or sprinkles with low clouds being socked in the area. We zoom out and look at the longer term forecast here, picking up on Thursday morning. We see that area of low pressure still sitting off the coast, expecting that to be centered a little further off the coast here, with some low level moisture still in the area. Continue with some low clouds around Thursday, possibly maybe a sprinkle, very slight chance of a sprinkle through the day on Thursday. We start to see that area of low pressure pull away slightly on Friday, but still seeing that north to northeasterly wind continuing, keeping things on the cloudy side, or at least mostly cloudy as we move through the day on Friday. Going into the weekend now, we see a little bit of variation between the models here. European model you will see here is showing more of a wetter solution for Saturday through the day, with that starting to dry up as we get into the end of the weekend, with just a few maybe lingering shower chances on Sunday. Other models indicating that Sunday will be the wetter day of the weekend, with more of the activity moving through overnight Saturday and into Sunday. So we'll just have to see how that plays out as we get closer to that event. But then all the models showing some drying as we get into the beginning of next week. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, starting off with those green conditions this morning, expecting our temperature to get up to a high around 70 degrees. We're right about at that point right now, so might see a couple degrees above that, but we'll see those south winds continue. 9 to 14 knots as we move through the day, seeing those peak winds up around 20 knots during our working hours. We pick up that yellow chance for precip as we get past the 1400 local time frame, where we'll pick up just maybe a slight chance of seeing an isolated shower pushing through the area. That continues as we go into the later afternoon as well. And going into the evening time frame, we bump up to an orange risk of precip as we get past the 22 local time frame. That's when we'll see those rain showers starting to become likely, as well as seeing just a slight chance of an embedded thunderstorm with that activity as we continue through the evening, eventually bumping up to a red risk for precip as we get into the morning hours on Wednesday. We'll also see some reduced ceilings and visibilities with that activity moving through. And then as we get into the start of the day on Wednesday, we'll see those winds more out of the east as that area of low pressure gets closer. We'll see 10 to 15 knots gusting up to 23 knots, so that warrants a yellow risk for those winds at or above 25 knots to start the day on Wednesday. Looking at the next couple days, Wednesdays, keeping that yellow risk through the day for those elevated winds, but otherwise cloudy with those rain showers continuing in the morning hours, and then again, slight chance of maybe an isolated shower in the afternoon or some light sprinkles or drizzle in the area as most of the activity lifts north. So keeping that red risk for precip and the yellow risk for that slight chance of an embedded thunderstorm. Otherwise, just some reduced ceilings with those low clouds still in the area. That continues overnight Wednesday night into Thursday, cloudy with those low clouds, so keeping that yellow risk for low ceilings and visibilities, as well as a yellow risk for a light sprinkle or drizzle. And then as we get into Thursday, we'll still see cloudy conditions, slightly breezy, very slight chance of a light sprinkle, but overall expecting mainly dry conditions. But we will see there's slightly breezy conditions, so a yellow risk for those winds at or above 25 knots. And as we look at the extended forecast here, potentially a few breaks in the clouds as we go through Friday. So peak of sun, seeing our high around 70 degrees continue, and then going into the weekend, keeping those temperatures upper 60s, right around 70, and those for our highs, and our low temperatures right in the mid to upper 50s. Again, Saturday or Sunday looking like we'll see chances of rain for both days, potentially more so on Sunday as we approach the weekend and get a better feel for that system. Otherwise, seeing some breezy conditions on our Sunday, and as we get into the start of next week, things are looking dry, but potentially seeing some clouds still in the area before we get into the middle of the week. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.